Hello, my not for kids friends. That's right. Basically, the not for kids thing kicked in as soon as I put up my last transformation help, like half an hour after that, and killed my comments. It was like, oh, great, thanks. But now, thanks to Katos Toybox or Katos Collection, I can't remember what he actually goes by on YouTube, but you'll find him somewhere. I might put a link somewhere if I remember. Absolute hero. He sent me a video basically explaining things properly, and I am no longer restricted. Hooray! So bum, poo, and wee, because I'm not for children. Anyway, I'm going to try and do this quickly because I may or may not get a phone call or something, so I'm just trying to get this video done quickly. But I'm trying to think, should I do something to Sertoys to say, thanks to Katos, just show something cool off, kind of dedicate a video, because bless him, he has been a big help. Sertoys? Nah, not Sertoys. Nah. Spinister. And yes, I am correcting myself since I did this review. It is Spinister, not just Spinster. I prefer Spinster, I think it's a cooler name, but Spinister is apparently the correct name, and I'm an idiot, so whatever, fine, who cares? So there's a comparison with him and the G1. And see, I remember someone originally showing like the first screenshots on like some review, like some video where it's like, oh, screenshots, oh, why have they done this? Like, oh, why has he got two cockpits? I'm like, well, the original had it on his legs and it's split down the middle, so they've just done two cockpits, so you didn't have to split it. It's quite a cool idea, really. They're like, oh, all right then. Clearly, this kid's like, I say kid, it's clearly like 19 or something, never saw the G1 figure, never heard about it, just went, oh, who's this? That makes no sense. Can't really fault him for being young, but, research, Google, it's a handy thing. There's Siege Sideswipe. So Spinister's got some size on him. I mean, that's just he's a full head and shoulder above. He's a fair size. And just because, bless him, he's there. Tailgate. No tailgate. You do that with Cyclonus, apparently. Come on. Right, now, you might think to yourself, ugly. Don't you normally start in vehicle mode? And yeah, I do. But you see, the transformation from vehicle to robot is a lot easier than doing it from robot to video. To vehicle. See, I don't edit. Stuff like that should have come out if I edit, but I don't. So, the point I'm making is, if I do it this way, it should, fingers crossed, avoid any transformation help. Because that's the thing I do, apparently. Now, we'll take a quick look, and he's got his two guns, and they look very much like the Target Master guns, with the Gatling guns, little missile launcher thing, laser, black, blue. It's fine. It's close enough. We'll let them off. And these are quite cool. They're weird, actually, to be honest with you. Let me just show one. I'm not going to go into detail. They've got a peg and a hole, and a peg and a hole. So they can peg in here, which basically covers up the hand, which is actually kind of cool. They can peg in upside down, but not very well, and end up at a weird derpy angle. Or you can use that and peg them together. Just like the original. Hooray! And port. There. Port there. And for some reason, two more ports here, but because of the rotors, you're going to struggle to put anything in them. But they do exist. So, gun's done, blah, blah, blah. And that is such a beautiful head sculpt. I love that. I'm trying to work out if it's a little too thin, or if him being thin is what makes him different. I don't know. Because he's a very spindly little figure. But he's brilliant. And due to the way the fact these ankles transform slightly differently, I'm not sure if one sinks like that one, stops there, and won't go any higher. This one practically disappears into the joint. So I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong or if there's a slight difference with the actual ankles, but they don't completely go flat, or they don't seem as flat as each other. One seems to go higher up the... It's probably just my perspective, I don't know. But here's a beautiful little figure. No kibble. These aren't kibble, they're style choices. That isn't kibble, it's style choice. Other than that, there is nothing there. These are style, and they make up their own mode, so they're not spare. He's beautiful. I'll be honest with you, absolutely beautiful. And this is one of the figures I really, really wanted. And I've not been in love with him. I'll be honest with you, I've not been in love with him. But he's growing on me. I think I got a few figures at the same time, because I got him, I got Crosshairs, I got Ape Face. I had Impactor just before that, which, loses, obviously. And then after these, I got Springer. So I got a lot of things around the same time, and he kind of got buried in it. But because I like the idea of him more than anything, I dug him out and I've spent a bit of time with him. That's why I'm doing this review, and I'm doing it this way, because I've spent time. Throat. So I'm still fighting off this cold, and every now and then talking too much, like doing a review, will just tickle my throat. But he is absolutely beautiful. Genuinely beautiful figure. Should we transform him? Yeah, go on. Right. This is where we're going to start getting really, really petty. And unfortunately, you've got to be petty to do the transformation right. Once you've done it a few times and you know what you're doing, you'll do it without thinking. But I'm going to have to baby step you through it. Okay? Because some people will fight with this and they'll struggle with it. You've just got to make sure you do it in the right order. Simple as that. Now, the legs are, to all intents and purposes for now, identical. Except this one has the landing gear at the front. That's the front of the vehicle. And these legs are designed to fold over the upper leg. So with that in mind, if that's going to fold over this leg, and that's going to be the front of the vehicle, that means it needs to turn that way. And this turns onto that leg, but it goes the opposite way. So you turn that the same way. Okay? This is so you know how it works. We need this, so that'll fold on top of that leg. And if this has the cockpit on this side, this one needs to be the same. It'll make more sense when I show you, but for now, just get the legs there so they're ready. Okay. Now we're going to rotate again. So the cockpit pieces are at the front. Here. So that's the front of the crotch. These are the legs. Turn to the side, so this wheel is pointing outwards rather than inboard. Now we turn so the cockpits are at the front. Oh, pardon me. Now we'll just throw the arms up. Ow. Throw the arms up in the air like you just don't care. And we're going to try and work this out. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to flip open this panel with the wheel on, rotate the foot out of the way, and while we're at it, see this big tab on the back of the heel here? See that? That goes into this hole here. And getting that in, a little bit of a nightmare, but it goes in. And for now, we're just going to fold that up to sort of there-ish. Or maybe about there. We'll leave ourselves some wiggle room, okay? And we're going to move this one out a bit, do the same sort of thing, fold this panel open, note, no wheel, flip this foot out, and this foot, if you look, does not have a peg. It actually has a hole. And there's no peg here. That's curious. But you know what? There is a peg on the other side. There, where my nail is. So what you've actually got to do is straighten the foot up to there, and on what would be the ankle swivel, rotate it over and peg it onto there. Come on. And this is the one that really fights me. There we go, and it's on. So, as this foot, you know what, let's straighten them out. This foot has the flat to the back of the vehicle, to the flat of the foot where the wheel is. This flat, not against the back of the leg, where the wheel theoretically would be on this side. So we'll get this back where it was, we'll get that about there somewhere, we'll fold this up here, we'll get this about here, and we'll try and close that up. Okay? Now, you theoretically don't desperately need to do that now, and I might backtrack in a minute, but this is more difficult to do later on. So, okay. Get the propellers just out of the way for now. And this is where it gets tricky. Kind of tricky. Because if you've got these set up out of the way, you don't have to fight with them later. it's a lot easier. In fact, we're going to, on these hinges, just rotate the feet out of the way so they're more alongside the cockpits, just so they're out of the way of this middle section, because they will get in the way. This is a beautiful piece of engineering on the body, but fiddly. So what we're going to do is untab this back panel. There's the giant ridge there sticking out. Can you see that? See that piece sticking up? That goes into this slot in the back. That slot there. And that kind of locks the whole thing. But this, being the tail of the helicopter, actually locks into the body. And getting it out of the body can sometimes tab it straight back into there. It'll fight you a bit. So we're going to pop that loose. There we go. Trying not to have it jump back in there. And while we're at it, basically where the shoulders are, there's another hinge inside, which will rotate this middle piece of the body through and out. I know, it's complicated, but trust me. So we're going to try and push the body and wriggle the nose and get it. So see how this is swiveling in now? And it's at this hinge here, actually, by the neck. See any of this? See where the neck is? There's actually a hinge across here. And these aren't stress marks, they're where it's been clipped off badly. Just saw those on the camera. And we're going to try and rotate this all the way through. And while we're doing it, the head basically stays still. The head does not move. If your head moves, you've got a problem. And you rotate this through, and it goes over the head, and then you tab the tail section into which would be basically where the belly button is. Hooray! And you got this. Now, I'm making it look a lot easier than it is. Once you've got hold of it, again, following some of these steps will make your life easier, but it's going to be a faff. Now we're going to rotate this over at a hinge down here. So it goes over the top. And the reason why I did all this cockpit stuff earlier is because getting this panel to close up and around this leg with this piece already in the way, nearly impossible. So try and do the legs first if you can. So we'll shuffle that together. And that's not the world's tightest connection, but it will sort of hold enough when it's all lined up properly. Okay, so that's all set up. Okay, we can... is that folded properly? Is it? Just making sure now because I'm on camera and I'm messing around. Okay, fold this over. These two giant tabs go into the chest piece there. Fold those over. They tab in, so that's all held in place. And now we'll just bring up the nose cone, shove it into place, close that underneath, make sure everything's kind of where it's supposed to be. And now on here, there's a little tab that goes into side of the crotch piece right in the middle there. Can you see that little C shape by my nail there? This tab here will fold into there. It doesn't really tab in, but it just says that's where it wants to be. Thank you. Again, little slot there and tab here by my nail. Fold that in. And that's where it wants to be. And now all we've got to do is play with the arms. Easy. So big tab here, slot there. Big tab here, slot there. Which is a little bit fiddly, but it goes in. There you go. And there's a tab here and a slot there. And what you've also got is that groove there and a little tab sticking outside of the foot here by my nail. You see that there? Like I say, there's a lot of stuff to line up, but once you do get it all lined up, it all fits together. It's just getting it just right, which is why I've had to baby step you. I'm not being funny with everyone, but I've had to baby step you because now you know what you're doing. On transforming it, you just pull everything loose, ribble it, drag it all out, get it into the right shape, done. Getting it back. So again, we'll fold this all up. Get the tab into place. Line up that tab on the elbow. Close that off. Come on. Here on. There we go. Everything where it's supposed to be. You all pushed in. Everything all where it's supposed to be. Fine, dabby dozy. Good. Good. Now we have Spinister in helicopter mode. And it ain't bad. Let's be honest with you, it ain't bad. It all folds up quite nicely, quite securely. This doesn't always go in as well as I'd like. I'm not sure if the hips aren't completely placed. Then again, I've just wriggled that and now it is staying in place. So, go me. But it's perfectly suitable and adequate. It's a fantastic looking thing. I'll give them that. It's a beautiful looking thing. And I love the colours. It's so 90s. So 90s. Or at least late 80s, early 90s. Such a beautiful generation. I was born in the mid 80s. Hooray! Well, early to mid, not the point. And for argument's sake, oh yeah, I forgot these are on the robot mode as well, but ports in the bottom of the feet. Port, and for some reason port, and the same on this side. And except for that one, there's no port there, but there is a port there underneath, but it's covered. Oh, and there's the hands if you want to use those as ports, because you can. And it's lovely. Although it has got something really funny, which I kind of knew it was going to be there, but it's a bit more obvious than I'd like. If you're looking at it from straight on, is this like an air scoop? What is it? What's that supposed to be? It's just the other cockpit's like right there. I know you can't really avoid it, but it's right there. And all right, what about this front landing gear? That's neat. Let's just use that. And where's the back landing? There's no back landing gear, which means it's going to be sitting on this canopy, which is clear plastic that's been painted. So this paint's going to scrape. Don't really like that, but all right, fine. And we'll put them down, and we'll get the guns. And you put them here, whatever. We're going to put them where they're supposed to go, on the bottom of the feet. Because we're traditional like that. I'm waiting to see how many other reviewers comment on this. They're going, so that's how you transform it. Okay, yeah, cheers, thanks for that. I do try to help. I try to be a public service. Yeah. And now the comments are back on. Hooray! So I'll put in there. And yeah, honestly, I didn't know what was going on. I thought, YouTube police had finally caught up with Belucius or something. That's why I was suddenly, my comments are off. Whoops. And no, Copa, that I signed up to not get my comments blocked and stuff, because I thought, if I call myself a channel, kid-friendly, then they'll leave me alone. Because I don't swear or anything really anyway, so, they'll leave me alone. And sadly was not the case. Instead, they went, well, you're kid-friendly, let's just block all your comments. So, well, hang on. That's why I signed up to be kid-friendly, to not have my comments blocked. But yeah, cheers, thanks for anything. Yeah, cheers, thanks for that. Scum that they are. But again, it's all been sorted now, and whatever. And so here is G1 Spinister. And I kind of like the coloured cockpit. I'm not sure why. It just pops a lot more than the clear plastic. Maybe in the sunlight, in sunny places like America, the clear plastic glows and it's all beautiful and lovely and everything's fine. But in scummy, horrible, rainy old Britain, not so much. This vehicle mode's still very, very sleek. And this one, because the arms are basically just hanging off the sides, a little bit chubbier. But you can argue this is a more human, real-world, actual helicopter, and this potentially is more of a Cybertronian helicopter, because that's people's excuse for not doing a good vehicle mode anymore. They just call it Cybertronian. Excuses. But no, he's fine. He's good. You can see where all the details there, and they're still molded in, and the Decepticon badge is still on the side, and it's all still there. This is a love letter to this figure. Someone has put the effort in, and you can tell, and it is beautiful. Even this sticker. See the sticker here with the little colours and the shapes. Actually, there you go. Glare. Sorry. Well, that shape, that ends up being there. The little circles and the little panel. It's all there. Someone's put the effort in, and I do respect them for it. It's just, there's a little bit of just, they gave themselves that little piece at the end. They went, oh, by the way, we'll just say it's a Cybertronian vehicle, and therefore we don't have to try that little bit harder. Because the arms, I don't mind the arms. They're fine. They do exactly what you need them to do, and it's all good. but they are really just lazily hanging out there. And the transformation is novel and genius and inventive, and I've got to give them all the respect that I physically can for doing it. It's not necessarily fun. That's why that hadn't pegged into that arm. That's why it was pushing forward. Transformation's not really fun, and that's the problem. It takes too long, and it's not really fun, and that could be what's making me not love this figure. Because other than that, I'm 100% on board. But transforming him from one mode to the other, it's a chore. And I don't know. But I do love him, honestly, I do. Size comparison, Transformers Rotes in Disguise, wherever it is. Sideswipe, let's just pan this down a bit. There's the G1. And do I have anything else? Sure, why not? What was it? Last Night, Berserker. There you go. So he's deluxe. He's a fair-sized deluxe. He's quite a tall, skinny deluxe in robot mode, but then were these short? Were people complaining about that? I seem to remember. Who knows? This one's not short. Ooh, ha, 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 ha. Anyway, I think I've gone on and got this into a slightly negative tone. That wasn't my intention. And I've gone on way too long, so 20 minutes now. Whoops. But, no, it is good. I wouldn't give it to kids, because kids would not have the patience for it, and yeah. But again, hopefully someone's looked at how I transform it and go, yeah, if you actually do it in those steps, it does make life a lot easier, doesn't it? Yeah. So there you go. That's kind of what I do. I like to make things easier for myself, and by extension, other people. Anyway, I'm going to go because I'm waffling now. So, yeah. I should be ugly, I should be wretched, and I shall see all of you in the next one, which is not for kids. Yay!